folks, Dennis Foster here, Focused Outdoor Promotions, specifically Focus Outdoors Television. We're in Deadwood for our annual, what has become an annual event, and that's spring turkey hunting in the Black Hills. The first stop when you get to town for me and for anybody is a stop at the Deadwood Welcome Center. Happen to be here with the man in charge, Lee Harstad, known him for probably more years than either one of us care to admit.
There's that.
But you guys have got a lot of really cool stuff going on here recently. You know, this is an obvious thing that we're seeing as we're coming into town. Maybe describe what you're doing here and what some of the plans for the future are.
Yeah, you bet. And again, thanks for coming out. Back for the Merriams, you know, there's plenty of them around here. But yeah, the first stop that we always tell people to do is to come here to the Deadwood Welcome Center. We opened this up in May of 2017, and over the first year we had, roughly 150,000 guests come through the door.
That's a lot of people.
And it's the first stop, whether you're coming to Deadwood or any other town in the Black Hills, you want to stop and check out the welcome centers, because that's where you're going to learn all where everything's at, and get your maps and just get, you know, some great information.
Yeah, you guys have a treasure trove of information out there, you know, from brochures to everything you can imagine. Some cool mounts. If you're into the outdoor stuff, there's some cool mounts here. There's some mining history. There's some mining stuff built into the architecture, which I think
yes, absolutely,
is very cool. And where we're standing now, this would be the trolley waiting room.
That's exactly where we're at the Welcome Center. This is an indoor trolley waiting area. Deadwood has a very extensive trolley system. It'll take you basically throughout town, and it's a very reasonable ride. You can hop on and get off and on as you please. So it's a great opportunity.
And not only is it transportation, it's fun. I mean, it's just it's kind of a cool little ride, and you know, you can go and have your fun without any worries.
Without worrying about driving. That's right. That's right. It takes you to all the hotels in town, and we have almost 2,000 hotel rooms in Deadwood, so we can service them all through the trolley. Speaking
of that, we're staying at the historic Franklin downtown there, and across the street, they're digging.
Right. That's a big project that it's been a 5-year process, and what we're building down there is a thing called Outlaw Square, and it's going to be a central public gathering place for the residents and the visitors alike. And we're going to plan to have 250 days of programming down there, including we're going to have a skating rink down there. We're going to have a stage for entertainment, a water feature. There's just going to be a lot of great things for family and everybody else to do down there.
Well, and it just adds to the diversity of the town itself, because it isn't just gaming. It isn't just Old West history. You guys have got a little bit of everything going on entertainment-wise. And one thing I'd like to really relay to the folks is, I've been coming out here for a number of years, is it's still a hometown atmosphere. My God, you see a lot of the same people working in the same businesses year after year, and they call you by name when you come in, you know?
Yep. It is. It's a great community. There's only residents, a number of about 1,000 to 1,200, depending on the census, and truly it's a community. We roll out the red carpet for all of our guests, and we understand that. You know, we need and we want these folks to come to town like you guys.
Exactly.
And so we're always there for you and doing what we can.
Yep, and you guys are doing a great job. You know, with that, we're going to get ourselves organized. We're going to get out, try to chase one of them turkeys around, see if we can't get one on the ground. But I sure thank you.
Absolutely, Dennis. Thank you.
You bet. Hey, folks, Dennis Foster, Focused Outdoor Promotions. We're out here in the Black Hills, filming for Focus Outdoors Television. We're going to try to get ourselves a turkey. We're late in the season, is what it is. Just got back from Lake Erie on a fishing trip here. We're going to run around, do a little scouting today. Very fortunate, do have a couple friends that have some private property out here in the hills that borders the National Forest grounds and a lot of the state grounds. Tons of public land out here, so you do not need to know a private individual to hunt these birds by any means. Kind of bumpy here as we're getting back into it's a little rougher area here. We're gonna see what we can find, look her over here for a day, hopefully put something together. We're seeing tons of deer, kind of dodging them on the way out, but stick around, see what we can come up with. All right, folks, we're literally doing things on the fly. Got into Deadwood last night just before dark. Had a chance to check out one spot. Saw some good signs, some tracks and some fresh snow. Kind of running around today, checking out a few more spots. Did circle back around to the original spot we found last night, thinking about setting up a blind, and lo and behold, there are birds on the next ridge. So we're in the middle of the afternoon here. Just literally broke the gun out of the case. Gonna take and make sure we got a decent pattern on it, and then run setup on these birds. This will be the first time I've had a chance to use these new Rio shells, or the Royal Turkey. And what they are is they're a buffered 1 3/4 ounce payload of copper plated shot, and that's in the 4s, and that's the same shot that I'm using on the pheasants. And they're deadly as heck. And one thing that I have noticed a lot in the pheasants, and I'm sure we'll see in the turkeys, is they maintain their shape so well that there's no deformities. They're not driving feathers into the breast, and that's just a real key indicator of how they're going to get the penetration that we need. We're going to take a second here, see what we come up with, and then go get in a blind. Okay, we got a chance to toss one downrange at our little paper birdie here. And what it's showing me is we have a very, very dense pattern. Have no problem with that. This would obviously be a quite dead bird. My point of aim was about right here. So one thing it is telling me, and it's a good thing we did this, is I probably need to hold about on the top of the bird's head, right in that range, to have everything hit where I want to. And to show the lethality of this is a pretty stout piece of plyboard here. That's what comes out the back end. So, knowing that, if we can get a bird in front of us and I can hold steady, we should be good to go.
Midwest Gun Dog Kennels is your full-time gun dog training facility. For over 30 years, we have customized our training to fit each individual gun dog. We know it takes a well-trained gun dog to handle wild birds. Make every hunting trip a dream trip. Let Midwest Gun Dog Kennels put excitement back into your hunt of a lifetime. Midwest Gun Dog Kennels, where experience equals excellence.
Make your next day on the water even better with Airwave Pedestal, the only air suspension system that can be custom adjusted to the weight of the rider. No unreliable springs, no oil-filled shocks to leak. Our patented design utilizes a 2-stage suspension system to smooth out the roughest ride, while limiting travel to an industry-leading 2 inches. This boating season, enjoy your time on the water to the fullest. Find out how at airwavepedestal.com.
Dakota Pheasant Guide offers the best wild pheasant hunts from the Glacial Lakes area of South Dakota west to the Missouri River. Packages available include everything from self-guided to fully guided hunts. Book your bird hunting adventure now. Fishermen, iTime Promotions is your ticket to an enjoyable and successful day on the water. Call Dennis Foster for your outdoor adventure of a lifetime.
Well, we had some success here. We got set up. I actually showed up, set the blind up, ran back to town to get organized into Deadwood, and then come back, and there were some turkeys on site. We kind of bumped them off a little bit. We got Larry Bennett here. We threw out a couple decoys. He managed to coax some back in. Quite frankly, I'm pretty novice at this. There was a bigger tom hanging up out there. Jake was going across sideways here, going to get in front of some brush and probably make a difficult, if not impossible, shot after that. I did take the shot, got him down, but I'm not disappointed at all. I'm no trophy turkey hunter by any means. This is the third bird that I've ever had the opportunity to kill here, so I'm pretty tickled with it. And then also we've got a major snowstorm coming in tonight. I think they're talking a foot or better of snow, so not knowing what that's going to do. And with this year in South Dakota, everything has been just weather related. We've had an atrocious time. Our ice fishing season was basically taken away from us. Heck, I even went to Ohio to fish Erie, had bad weather out there, so I wasn't taking any chances. So we've got a nice Jake, had a nice little hunt here. Got to see a lot of birds, going to have something to eat. So we'll go out and play around with him, give you guys a look at him, and get him cleaned up and go from there. All right, we got our Jake down here just prior to a big winter front coming through. That kind of played a role in the decision. Was a little concerned about what this weather would do to these birds, even getting around, that type of thing. We did know that there were some birds here in the area, so we took advantage of what was laid out in front of us. There was a good sized tom hung up just beyond these guys. Obviously noticed the darn thing after I knocked him down. We've had Larry Bennett for a guide for the last several years up here, and I was kind of whispering that one, and I wasn't hearing anything. And I was thinking, well, maybe I just can't hear because I'm excited, and I pulled the trigger, and then he pointed out the folly of my shot. But I'm tickled pink. I mean, this is a beautiful bird. It just doesn't get any better than this in the Black Hills of South Dakota, literally just outside the town of Deadwood. And they're talking to us as we speak, which is good, right on cue. Thanks, guys. Probably the tom. Lee Harstead always puts us up in Deadwood, runs a Chamber of Commerce there. Does a fantastic job there keeping the town going. Now, this buys us a little bit of time. We're going to showcase a lot more of what the Black Hills has to offer. Stick around. We'll showcase what we can. I want to spend a minute talking about the setup that we had to harvest this turkey. I've been a big fan of Berettas for many years, shooting a Beretta Extreme, actually a 3.5-inch gun, but shooting 3-inch shells. I've shot Rio shells for a number of years. I actually helped them develop some pheasant loads that we run on our pheasant operations in the eastern part of South Dakota. And they come up with this Royal Turkey load, which is a buffered copper-plated shot load. It's the same exact shot that we're shooting our pheasants with, so I know how hard it is and how deeply it penetrates. And with that buffering, we have a super tight pattern, which we patterned our gun just a couple hours ago before we came out here to make sure everything was going to work right. And I tell you, it absolutely dumped this bird. A very clean, ethical way to harvest your birds, and they're an economical shell. They really are. They're not going to break the bank. So if you're looking for a good quality shell, go out and grab yourself some. They're cheap enough. Practice, get good with your gun, know what you're doing, and you'll end up pulling down a bird.
I spend a lot of time out here in the woods. These turkeys are fun to hunt. They're tricky to hunt. You need to learn how to run a box call, a good slate call, to be able to pull them back in. Like I said, when we come in here, we kind of bumped them a little bit. Just give them a little time, talk to them a little bit. They'll come back. They'll come back, check things out. But most people don't give them credit. They're a lot smarter than you think they are when it comes time to hunt them. So we'll get you trained. We'll get you a couple more years.
Well, I gotta tell you, the first year I come out here, and this would have been 3 years ago, Larry literally put us right on top of birds. I mean, we had a beautiful gobbler come in, had Andrew Johnson, a very talented person with a call, bring the birds right on top of us. So, I mean, I was spoiled right off the bat, and I am tickled pink with this. There's no doubt about it. And one thing it does allow us to do is we've got a few more days on our agenda, so we're going to look over the entire Black Hills. We happen to be staying in Deadwood. We always do. Lee Harstead, who is a friend of Larry's, and a friend of mine for many, many years. Lee actually wrote the very first piece of literature on me, the very first piece of publicity I ever got. Started my career, as a matter of fact. He runs the Deadwood Chamber of Commerce, does a very good job, promotes the area in an extremely professional manner, always takes care of us, good guy to be around. So if you guys are looking for a destination, Black Hills, obviously, Deadwood even better. With that, we're going to clean this bird up, wrap it up, go in, have ourselves some good supper in town, and gear up and figure out what we're going to do the next couple of days. Stick around, and we'll show you a little more.
High Point Pet Foods presents Country Creations Dog Foods, offering quality nutrition for the life of your canine companion. To fuel the fire of puppyhood into keeping the energy level high of an active young dog, optimizing the performance of the hard-charging adult, or having a quality diet for your senior canine companion. Country Creations has you covered with their quality formulas. Get in touch with High Point Pet Foods today. Midwest Gun Dog Kennels is your full-time gun dog training facility. For over 30 years, we have customized our training to fit each individual gun dog. We know it takes a well-trained gun dog to handle wild birds. Make every hunting trip a dream trip. Let Midwest Gun Dog Kennels put excitement back into your hunt of a lifetime. Midwest Gun Dog Kennels, where experience equals excellence.
Well, as you might be able to tell, I spend a lot of time behind the shotgun. Whether it's at the clay target fields, sporting clays fields, doing exhibitions, or bird hunting, I always trust my shooting skills to the Rio elites. Not only for the lighter recoil, but as you can tell, the harder hitting, consistent patterns. These clay targets don't stand a chance when you shoot Rio elites.
Dakota Pheasant Guide offers the best wild pheasant hunts from the Glacial Lakes area of South Dakota west to the Missouri River. Packages available include everything from self-guided to fully guided hunts. Book your bird hunting adventure now. Fishermen, E10 Promotions is your ticket to an enjoyable and successful day on the water. Call Dennis Foster for your outdoor adventure of a lifetime.
All right, we've talked about how to hunt these birds. Specifically, give us a rundown of how things transpired and how we ended up with the Jake here.
Okay. Well, we had a little tip about some birds. It was on a piece of private here, and he said that the birds are being in the area. So we went down to scout them out and take a look. New set of birds. I didn't know anything about them, so I thought, well, let's run down and we'll just look around a little bit. And we got in there and we could hear them talking in the draw, and I thought, okay, these birds are really talking today. They're going to be very acceptable to a call. Mm-hmm. And I knew how they were talking, so that gives me a chance to go ahead and mimic their sounds, you know, how the hens are talking. And we got the blind set up, and they were still talking while we were trying to set the blind up. We're trying to be quiet, of course.
You know, I got a quick question for you. Being a front was coming in, and I'd learned this as a trapper, as a young kid. Before fronts come through, all the critters were always more active. Do you think that played a role in them wanting to be more talkative?
Yeah, turkeys will do the same thing, because then once the system comes in, they're going to set up and be pretty laid down for a while. So we thought it's perfect time. Just rushed us a little bit, but if you're quiet, always got to remember, turkey can hear. They can hear you calling. They can hear you making noise. They can hear pickup doors slamming. So move slowly. You know, a rapid movement is very noticeable by deer and especially by turkeys. Yep. Their eyesight is, I fall back onto it numerous times, it's impeccable.
With Larry calling, he had some birds, starting to work themselves in from the distance, and we also had some deer move in on top of us, which was kind of interesting.
We had a doe sneak in there, and deer and turkeys, they have a pretty good relationship. If you got a deer comes in front of your blind, leave her there. She's just a part of the decoy. If they see the deer there and the deer is relaxed,
it's got to be a confidence factor.
Yeah, it will actually calm your turkeys down because they see the deer's there. They'll come and join. Yep. They'll come and join in right along with your decoys. And so once she come in and she was plumb okay with being there, that's just one more plus in our book.
A little nervous I had there was she going to bust us or not?
We had the wind in our favor, so
definitely.
With the turkey, you got to beat the eyesight. With the deer, you got to beat the nose.
Right.
So
and everything worked out. The setup was perfect. We had a couple decoys down there.
Yeah.
Held their interest long enough. Got the shot. Obviously, ran the deer off with the shot.
Jakes eat just as well as the big ones, if not better. Some of the locals like myself, I got all season. So if I blow it, I just go home and have a bowl of cereal and.
Right, and we had a short window to do it in, and I'm a novice, so, I'm not going to pass up too many opportunities, but the moral of it is I learned again.
There you go. If you learn from every time you hunt these birds, you're gaining.
Exactly.
If we pull the same mistake next year, we're going to have a talk.
Yep. Perfect. Thanks, Larry. Once again.
You bet. Thanks for coming, and hope you enjoy the rest of the Black Hills.
Obviously.
There's lots of fishing and everything else we can still do.
You bet, and we'll take part of all of it.
Diesel train rolls down the line as I'm headed for the land of corn and rye. There is a place I'm always satisfied, full of remedies to ease my worried mind, like pulling catfish on the banks of Cherry Cove, watching wood ducks glide like angels to the shore. I'm gonna find me a dirt road and get right in the groove, and let these chains of life unwind till I get loose. I wanna roll down a window and reach out and touch the reeds, and let that crazy world out there go on without me. It's like that river only knows one way to flow. Ain't nothing gonna change me, 'cause I've got a dirt road soul.